the program today, we dey look at efforts with the authorities them with the in charge of drug and substance abuse for fight against drug and substance abuse they do na the sector. I be don't introduce me studio guest them earlier, but features they join we again. I want to welcome Andrew Jaya Kaikai, Executive Director, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Fude Sa, and the National Coordinator on Drug and Substance Abuse, and also we get CEO and co-founder Voice of the Street organization. Today we dey look at the task force we President Bill established in April this year. We now for address drug and substance abuse na the country, and this task force get the mandate for address drug and substance abuse na the country. Once again, I want to welcome Brigadier General Fodesa, we na the national coordinator for this task force, as na they work with different body them across the fight for substance abuse and drug na the country. Once again, good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning.
The task force established in April 2024 with the mandate for address drug and substance abuse na the country. What's in done the happen na the sector and the work of the task force?
Thank you very much. Since His Excellency the President established the task force in April, a lot don't happen. But before he immediately he don't establish the task force, he give certain goals we for realize. Number one is we for reduce the youth involvement in drug abuse by 80% within the first 2 years. He also give a mandate for we for reach 70% of all communities with messages within the first 1 year. The third mandate is we for establish one treatment and rehabilitation center in each district. Then the fourth one is we for support individuals them when they go through rehab for make sure we reintegrate them back. Would that mean they go school for go back to school? Would that mean they go university for go back to school now university? Then the last one is we for reduce the supply chain. We for cut off the supply chain. So since that the establishment of the task force and with them mandates them where His Excellency don't give away, we don't do a lot. One, we don't make sure we don't establish pillars. The awareness and prevention pillar, now Ministry of Information and Ministry of Health, now then they lead them. Then we get the community engagement pillar, where now the local government now in the lead down there. They will get the social support and rehabilitation pillar, with the Ministry of Social Welfare and Ministry of Health now in the lead them. Then the law enforcement pillar, where now the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the Sierra Leone Police, the ONS, and the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces, now they lead them pillar them. Since that time, we don't increase the number of admissions, because before the president actually even established the task force, Minister of Social Welfare been very proactive when they start the admission of patients them PMTC with 60 patients and then later 40 patients. Then since the establishment of the agency now, we actually work with social welfare to make sure we increase the number of beds them na PMTC to 120 beds. They will also establish additional beds them na the Kisi Psychiatric Home. We established 30 additional beds. Then we established 20 beds them na the police hospital na Kintom, and 15 beds na the 34 military hospital. The next efforts what they do now for make sure we start with regional centers. The regions them they work now for make sure to establish centers there, because drug fights not only in Freetown, now the entire country, because now that make president establish up as a national emergency. So also we identify community providers. And we engagement, we reach out to the communities to find out for over as I speak, so they don't map over 80 community providers countrywide. We then also then they admit patients them, then they treat them. But unfortunately, we go visit some of them people them. The condition where them people then they not satisfactory. So we work with them, we train them. So a lot of training, we don't train over 200 of them people them currently for make sure say we work with them, because government alone not going to do all things, because as I speak, Ministry of Social Welfare, the reporter don't give me as they speak, so they don't register over 1,000 people that weren't ready for going to rehab. So a lot has happened since the president established this task force.
Plenty don't happen, and you don't mention the different efforts them and the mandates we President been given for fights against drug and substance abuse in the country. The main aim of all that efforts here now for cuts drug intake or substance abuse in the country. How you can rate una effort and the outputs and the results we don't produce so far?
I sure say we don't provide significant results, because since the establishment of the task force, I think the drug law enforcement, the law enforcement pillar, they don't increase the rates, because with the resources the government provide, I think with that support, the law enforcement pillar, they say don't increase the rates and arrests and then prosecutions of the people that wanted to bring this illegal drug to the country.
One of our mandate for reduce the supply chain in the country. Let we look at the most common one now, where the among young people and when KUSH. You say you don't do a lot for reduce the supply chain since you take up that particular mandate there. But one could say the supply chain still they increase, because looking at the issue of KUSH around the country is still there on the increase.
Yes, if you look, this problem not start yesterday. I mean, it don't dey over years, and then everybody will attest to the fact for say we don't do significant this thing, because if you look at what happened for the past couple of months back, a lot of seizures, a lot of destructions, because even very recently, in addition to the illegal drug, where a lot of drugs they seize, where they destroy. So I think over the past couple of months, I think they don't do over 4 destructions na Toku. So then the law enforcement pillar, they don't increase the arrests and rates for the illegal people that wanted to bring the drugs into the country.
You talk about say una don't increase and arrest people, but let me talk about how una they go about for reduce the supply chain, because fingers don't they point at prominent people them where they say they and they into the KUSH business. So how not go about for reduce the supply chain in terms of the arrest, and who that not the people them who not arrest so far?
Well, I think without the head of the law enforcement pillar, I think it go throw light on that. But as they say, with the report they get up from them in regular meetings, then they arrest people them, then they prosecute them, and then they jail them.
But they update you of which so far on the happen.
Sure.
And I believe say you get knowledge as to how they don't go about the arrest, and who that not the people them where so far they don't arrest.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to give you names on this media. We say so, but definitely arrests have been made and prosecutions. They don't prosecute them people then.
And you make mention earlier, say when I don't make significant progress in terms of addressing the issue of drug abuse in the country. When I get any statistics, when I get metrics for look at successes back?
Yes. Well, yes. As I say, the first group, the first cohort, 60 people, then we actually released from rehab center. This last one, about 116 people them actually discharged from rehab centers. And as I say again, the local providers also they do a very important, some of them well established, some of them trained. They will get some people in Abo, will get some people in Makini, also some of them then trained. So we work with them and we increase the knowledge on how to handle them patients them. So a lot okay. we don't achieve.
Continue for stay with me inside the program. Brigadier General Professor Fudisa, Coordinator, National Task Force Against Drug and Substance Abuse in the country. We continue the program Good Morning Salon. We come to Andrew Jaya Kaikai, the Executive Director, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and then the enforcement pillar the fight against drug and substance abuse in the country. Good morning and welcome to the program, Andrew Jaya Kaikai.
Good morning.
Yes, turn back. We don't dey see Andrew Jai Kaikai and team. Don't they go from place to place and from slum community to slum community? They sensitize and also they enforce issues them against drug and substance abuse. With the task force, what don't be una rule so far?
Well, I can clearly tell you, say, since the establishment of the task force and since the proclamation by the president of the establishment or a national health emergency on drug and substance abuse, with the Brigadier General Fudesa, Prof, as the head of the national task force, as coordinator, they don't do a terrific job, because the task force form of not just, of course, NDLA, now we in the face of drugs in this country, but with the declaration of the national health, state health of emergency on drugs and substance abuse, we now they do a multi-sectorial approach, all under the umbrella of the national task force, with all the other ministries that involved, as I don't allude to earlier. I will tell you, say, where KUSH no be don't enter, because KUSH really loud talk and true with the fed drugs, but right now the big elephant in the room or in this country na KUSH. Now we don't invade all side. But he say, let we not look them as criminals them, but look them as victims. So you see the effect there, and they all over. Parents they now, where they picking them they on drugs. Some picking them they up from a college and other institutions them. Whereas I they talk to you so right now, most of them don't go through rehabilitation, and most of some man don't begin class back. Who that they look for work, don't begin look for work. But again, we also understand that the supply chain, the one the way they bring her into the country, the one the way they set up half manufacturing labs, and the one the way they sell them, now they will forgo after. Because if we do rehabilitation, we'll clean all man. If we not still cut off the importation of drugs into this country, all the manufacturer, if I could use that word, they will not do that yet.
Though there is no clear evidence, no day or research or establishment, but waiting don't come on now the attack on the graveyard, and people think say now one way they take the bone them for make KUSH, and now we don't get the reports now Freetown, different parts them now the country. You dey talk about cutting the supply chain. What would I go do in the local manufacturing industries? Them as you have mentioned, say some people get local manufacturing companies and are within the producer.
I'll give you one clear evidence. We'll not be getting no plans with the Kaya today, right? But day before yesterday, on Monday, we do one of the most significant and largest catch of drugs. Now, Calbaton area, under that heavy rain this past weekend on a Saturday, the law enforcement pillar of the National Task Force go Calbaton, we don't get info on somebody where they say get small manufacturing lab where they do drugs. As I talk to you so right now, that person they in custody. And we'll go there, we catch on with boku KUSH. You get over 4 or 5 black plastic bags loaded with KUSH. Then also we catch her with scale. Scale where they use for weigh or measure drugs. We also catch her with other bottles there, small bottle them, where it describes say now different flavors them where they use for make KUSH. All the chemical them, we arrest all with them. That person they in custody so right now as I talk to you. Then when I go see say even a week before or so, we destroy over $94 million worth of drugs. Then they again, now a raid conducted by the Israeli police, and we all involved.
Manufacturers them now the country so far.
No, you're not going to get data on that. Me and you know say that it's not possible. Drug na fluid. Drug any side say the first drug na the world. You go America, you go everywhere. The drug fight is fluid. So you are never going to get a statistics like that of who that they manufacture, who that they do this. All you get for intensify the fight because now na KUSH they deal with. This country we don't deal with pampers water, we don't deal with all kinds of things. So as una they go now, so they say they change, but una for intensify focus and go after them.
Inside the edition, we dey look at drug and substance abuse in the country and the role we authorities in they play for fight against them. We don't get from Brigadier General Professor Fodesa, Coordinator National Task Force on Drug and Substance Abuse, and Rijai Kaikai, in Executive Director, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Account to we other studio guest, we the young man, we the with we now the program we be done introduce earlier. Again, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mr. Kama.
Okay, in Arnold Sanya, CEO and co-founder, Voice of the Street organization. What's in the Voice of the Street organization they about in terms of the fight against substance and drug abuse?
Okay, first of all, Voice of the Street organization, an organization we strictly designed for brothers and sisters out there where they live in the streets, both male and female, whether you're a drug addict, commercial sex worker, disabled, the one who don't give up, as long as you didn't at the street. Voice of the Streets now, Central will come up with this organization, you know, because like Central now one of the side where KUSH Street they go faster than any other side, you know. So I come up with this idea back 2021 for Meetup 2022. I called some youthman them out there in the community, say, well now look fight against these KUSHers, so what they disturb with community. But where we just start, so people are not be taken so too serious until 2023. You know, because Voice of the Streets organization are one of the first organization we start this KUSH sensitization. We begin bab youth man them free na the streets. They will, as they talk, so we don't bab above 2,000 someone get youth man them, and also we don't pull documentary where we try to the lives of our youth. Where they show how youth man they get money, we then get some, we say they go put some.
Now we get the authority then we president charged with the authority for fight against drug and substance abuse.
Okay.
Perhaps then they deal with policy issues and when they on the streets with the people and we actually they take the drug.
Yeah.
What in they tell Una as to why they take the drug and what in need for be done for make them tap for take them?
First of all, this some man grandpa drug because of peer friends. Some man just because of a gap up now also society they get time with him, mama and papa. Then alone they make you go astray. Then also to the kind community where you go up, you know, because these drugs here we always see when a KUSH, this is a very, very bad drug, you know. From the time we then begin for produce KUSH necessarily, name big brothers and sisters them can get their own problem. Because KUSH be the calm, but the one way be the calm now, not be the make people and be the nod. We them they pull from abroad. But from the time we then start for begin making this country, now the problem come we see so foods, some man in belly don't swell, some man you see you know, even go feel safe for talk to them, you know. We young brothers them out there, where you go meet them at the street, some man go tell you say, a come up line here until you go take her. Then call it on the streets, then make a camp at the school. Some man a peer friend. Some man they just choose no more for smoke. Then smoking is a choice, but addiction na a disease. You know. Then this KUSH so it don't destroy so many things then. It don't make a final year student drop out, it don't make a 1 year, 2 year, 3 student then drop out. They don't make some man losing family, some man losing job. You know, because this KUSH so where they go on. So now we left for come together, we fight. Because as a community stakeholders, we are in a community where things need to go on fine. I should say now we for come together as one and fight this.
You talk about say this KUSH fight now the community need for come together.
Yeah.
As an organization, how much now they engage the community for CC or able for talk to young people therefore make them stop or take this KUSH?
First of all, the community they listen to we, because just like what they tell you, we not Central will come out. I can tell you say through this Voice of the Streets organization right now, Central, you know the society they sell KUSH easily, and I will tell you see they need sell. But like first way be the worker, you see young man in a Frederick Street, Sip Top Street, Kana Road, Kana Divya Street. That one they all we don't cut off because of I call the community people and I tell her, say now we own brothers and picking and the pump well. Not so somebody go come along, can protect Central. Now we were the Central, they protect. This now we all fight, not so one person fight. Governments one grain not go able fight this fight here. So we as a community stakeholders, I think saying your own duty if community they go wrong for make we stand up and see. But the community stakeholders them they don't get love for the people them. But come on, we see this so not to push the fight against now young picking the fight against for they come up and this drug so. You know, because like just like what they say, what start this project? Someone see me like Chris man, someone see me like Full man, or what are they doing not sober? Through this project here, so they don't affect me, they don't damage me, they don't give me all kind of abusive words them. So inside and this I need the past the present last we speaking.
You mentioned say now the KUSH business now they sell like how it be there before when you pass that street you see young people or somebody they sell but still people they sell and young people can more feel free for explain them problem or challenges to encompass young person.
Exactly.
During their engagement here, so they can tell us some of the places them way they sell some of them so they sell the KUSH business.
First of all, I only know say KUSH no hide. You know ever hide. You know, because you come now this community. Some community and the way go one grand city past 10, 12 man will sell KUSH. Not to like see a thing where hide where you go say where you go soon as so no where this they sell KUSH, you know women say this city and sell KUSH, yeah, no need for hide. You know.
The KUSH drugs now very one with very difficult for facts. So when we actually do this engagement, what are some of the challenges that we actually facing?
First of all, where we can go, the first we can facing for some health issue. The first one is facing a health issue because first of all, first na streets then the cold, then the second thing again, we can go meet their brothers and sisters there. As soon as you don't come meet them for talk to them, the first thing when they get either they think and say government don't go pay una or somebody they where they go una money. So money left for involved. What sometimes someone go tell you say why it, someone go tell you this, he go tell you that. Then for make you then listen to you left for do waiting they want. I like you not do all safe, but you must do some. But to be honest, it's not really easy in the street. Lay and I don't pound, it's not easy. Okay. Because brothers then they really they suffer through this drug so.
Okay. Continue for stay with me inside the program. CEO and founder voice of the street organization Arnold Sania. The program Good Morning Salon they continue and today we look at the effort where state authority they do for fight against drug and substance abuse in the country. But we go and listen to some young people where they take the KUSH and why then they take them.
Drug I don't say for say na bad thing too much, but they say they affect system. It is suck blood, then two, it affect for donny body by you. Take away the take away no go eat. They say it can put some food, I put some food back. So the what they cause that they say that the bad water of the thing of the drug. So now it cause that the na system, it the poor system.
So now like which kind of drug they go over?
Well, like I don't smoke jamba. Make it too like this. This push out your cannabis because I don't smoke.
So like how you feel?
Well, I can feel meditation. Yeah, I can think. I can feel meditation. No, but me, you know, feel me that actually they make I feel offended. But I can see some of the company there where they can take her. They can for don't part themselves like that way they say they misuse it. Yeah, so me I look say we don't fit it bad for you. We all kind of situation where government think for let him do to the good way to support her. Let help more to the food inside, to the marriage inside, and the consumer because this year they make they go be more. So let the government put up and they assist more. Let young man they go before. Let me couch more. Let me say someone can take. Yeah, someone can go once. I mean I can feel inside there. Like attack me. So I mean, I can feel cold inside me. And then fever. But then they will take us in it cause malaria. Yes. Say the bad water, effect for flusher. Well, we don't know. How the bad water they for flusher. So it left to the God to the government somehow. How did they able help the people there now? And they want to the country because there's the drug in can one. There's a big one and they but we don't know. So but we not see as food. But we don't take as food back because this is in a poison back. They say someone can take a 80 ton. I ain't feel when me no work take a yeah, it turn me head. But it can turn the chest back. But not to pass back too much already. Quick, you don't forget about you. So like so if you use strong, you don't use for taker, you take her. Not to forsake it, you buy you too much. Yeah, you dey feel no more inside you. Something they rise inside you. But before they say sometime, you see back when you normal, you don't normal back, baby.
We push they take drugs, overdose, and they misuse them. Now don't let me understand about drug abuse. Now when they misuse drug, well, me like me, now Empire, I me they smoke. Empire, that cigarette way, and I me they smoke. So now no more the two I feel say now me they take. We like KUSH show. I see the way when they destroy me company there. Because me na my Kenya be there, so me big brother. But I don't come out in, I don't carry free to, I don't carry it to me uncle, but I buy carry right. But one of my friend, na in there. So now I say look our car. Well, the only way where the problem I go solve. Now only we then get the tail. We say then drug they are the common. If they able get the side, we say the drug they are the common. The whole day, the drug need carry again. So that's when the drug will able done at the country.
But well, really, me na mild drug meditate. Me dey take harmful drug. For example, I dey take cigarettes and weed.
So how you feel when you take kind of
Well, really, and discouraging really, but you know, saying addiction back. At times we can one depart from am, but due to addiction can lead we for going to run back. At times we can decide to okay well, moreover we sometimes I go down hold me small change. Then after which and then I use all of a sudden we can decide to say, for me I don't it's like I don't waste all my resources. I want to depart from her now. But because of the addiction, it lead me for going to run back.
So what do you want the government to do for address them?
Sorry?
What do you want the government to do for address drugs abuse?
Well, really, all the government intervened by we go able to provide jobs for the youth man then. We were able to attach if we for spend and then let's say 8 to 10 hours, like if at the work, I'm not able to think much. Either for good take drug, neither for good spend time I get to know. Because of that time I go down engage my life and then the work I ain't get for the in my mind no more, nothing ever to think about drug. Even because of addiction, we go able to think about, but I no go left my job for go begin sit down and get to neither go smoke, no.
The drugs actually not too good in the community. They don't make plenty of sisters there, brothers there. They don't misuse. Some people be there now also they're responsible. They're decent. They're not decent. They're in the streets now. Waiting at these drugs. Some man they don't come on the streets 1 year. Some man 6 months in the streets. They don't misuse everything at these drugs here. Me while they talk to you, so my sister be the college when I jala, the second year. They don't come down the street. From where these drugs here come, they don't go on the street. They don't sell all things. So do you with the bag these drugs? They wonder what they counter. Also they pull under the counter. They wonder what they sell out. One made them do you with the bag. The authorities them will get will leaders them who wants do you may they put on these drugs make it less.
Okay. The program is still listening to now. Good morning, Salon. We come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. In the edition of the program, we look at drug and substance abuse and the work of the task force in terms for fair drug in the country. Well, Brigadier General Professor Fodisa, the coordinator National Task Force on Drug and Substance Abuse. You don't listen to young people and where they take the KUSH, and the community people them how it affects them. And one thing where they emphasize in all of this that the issue of the supply chain, and this are one of the responsibilities of the task force for end the supply chain. Now we look at the efforts we don't do so far for end the supply chain to the country.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think I want to go back a little. The previous speaker we talked about the community engagement. The community engagement, I think the implementation strategy where we take as a task force. At national level, we provide leadership, then supervision now at regional level, then implementation at district or community. So definitely, I think we essence now for empower the communities them for make sure say then take this as their own program, as their own project. Because if the community don't accept them, definitely anything they do na wasted effort. So for cut the supply chain, we need the cooperation of the community, because they go identify whether in the sell them na the community and whatever. But as a task force, as Mr. Jaka don't say previously, we don't intensify the arrests. A lot of arrests have been made, and then we're not going to talk say a so number of people them that they bring the drugs into the country. Nowhere in the world they not get a database of people them. So, but we as a task force would intensify for the arrest, for make sure say we cut the people that we arrest and prosecute the people that want to bring these drugs in this country.
Arresting, you talk about bringing them drugs into the country. We get the security system for border control. What is the role of the security sector in terms of for stop people not for come with the drug in country?
The security sector they do a tremendous job, a very good job. You steps down see when they get the news or almost regularly how the amount of arrests where they don't make, even because they supply most of the drugs that they come out of the country, and the security sector don't do a tremendous job for arrest them people where they bring them drugs them and make sure say most of them they're not going to the market.
The people don't they lost faith in the fight against KUSH, and then think say very powerful people in society. Debian. And when you talk about them, they pinpoint their arguments into issues like one time like container cab na Wataki, we then later arrest and go with them na the Kingdom, and later then say na gizzard they inside. Where people believe say gizzard they travel from Brazil na hot container and come tin up na Wataki na saloon for 3 days they open them still poil. We then believe say government they camouflage people in the fight against the issue of KUSH. And when you follow the text messages and even the comments there, now the program this morning, people believe say governments, people within or now higher places there, they benefit from this drug trade. We make the security sector able to cover the issue.
So I don't know what are the evidence, because this country, I just say this country, a country against laws.
I just point to one thing for outside people get concerned and begin lost faith in the fight against KUSH. Yes. Container come later than say na gizzard the inside.
Well, I don't know what evidence would then get for say. I mean, I'm not aware of that particular one, and I don't know if before the establishment of the task force. But as far as me concerned, if the people then really know say this one drug, you get your evidence. I sure say the law enforcement in this country is very fair, and I don't see any reason why they would talk say this na gizzard, we not to gizzard and when I drug them talk for saying gizzard. I think say the people that if they show evidence, the law enforcement very fair in this country.
The law enforcement you make mention of, we see the criminal investigations departments lately begin invites people within for investigation. One name we been come up in this drug trade. Now one woman we then linking a man to this drug trade we na admire bio. We see CID invite them, then later say make it go. But we not see CID invest or invite more people we then name the link to the issue of the drug trade.
But say sometimes Yeri. For Yeri, but definitely where the CID they investigate thoroughly. They're not to one-off thing. They go don't invite that couple lay, and all the people that were associated with that couple, then go to invite them and then do a search. And when they do the search, they don't find any evidence. So if they don't find evidence, I don't know what's justification and get for whole the people them.
Issue of the supply chain, just as my colleague mentioned, prominent names here don't they come up, and some of them prominent names here also connected to the powers that be. One could say, is it that the tax force the fear for go after them people them here because they are politically connected?
But as I said just now, if people they really get evidence for say this person involved, then they come out with the evidence. So this country not get anybody with the above the law.
When we follow the trend, the prominent names and the things them where they happen with regard the issue of KUSH. Is it the tax force they take into consideration some of them things here so?
They take into consideration.
And how not they react to them?
As I say, we as a task force, we coordinate the efforts of all the players. Everybody they continue for doing work like the country. Within Minister of Social Welfare they do, within law enforcement they do. Or we as a task force, we coordinate the efforts of all the people so that it will be a multi-sectoral approach. For say anybody get a sacred cow na this country, no. If they find out for say this person, then they come. With the drug at the country, the law enforcement, they will prosecute that person, and they don't do them before.
If the task force don't implement one approach, I ask Andrew Jai Kai just now say, what's going to be the approach of the enforcement lead into community operations them, like for tap people for take drug? And we see this country some time back, the issue of click business, we done plenty. But when we see the internal affairs minister then take stringent measures, even the people we been get other things that everybody they don't for go pub. That means say the country, as you say, in a law country of law, but you need enforcement, very serious enforcement. If we don't do the diplomatic approach, what thing will they do in terms of the security sector, like the military, for put the operation into their hand for community search and raid?
Well, that give one information. We don't develop, the National Task Force don't develop an app who will popularize. Would they make them let the whole nation know how to use that app, how to report incidents? If you see some incident they happen now, somebody they smoke or somebody they sell KUSH now, if you take video or you just send voice message, that app will don't develop. It actually tell you the coordinates of whose side that particular activity they occur. So we as the task force now will send that information to the law enforcement, and law enforcement they go in for make sure so they do the necessary arrest. So this app here will become popularized, and very soon the entire nation knows say we get this app how for reports incidents them. So if they give the coordinates, you take a photo or you send a voice message, they tell you exactly outside the coordinates, and then we as a task force will get a situation room 24/7 where people then they that information what they get now will they send them to the law enforcement for say so activity that happen at this particular area. Then the law enforcement they go there.
When you go to ports, you see police and soldier, then self in some situation they smoke the KUSH, and we don't see they don't dismiss, but soldier and police officers then how the security sector will forfeit against the KUSH, then self depend the drug abuse.
Well, if you get one person, one or two people them way then actually break the law, that don't mean say the entire institution rotten. So the people them when they break the law,
but that's a bad precedent.
Of course it's bad. So now make the people them will get zero tolerance against that. Then people that when they cage, then police soldier when they cage for smoke, you see for say the leadership of them two institutions them they not condone that. They don't dismiss them and will continue for dismiss them. So they make sure say everybody in this country do the right thing.
You earlier mentioned about the rehabilitation center, which is so far don't they happen at the center?
Well, the center then we don't get tremendous success, as I tell you. I mean, the first people that will pull out now 60, the second one now 116, and of that 116, we'll just pull now the PMTC. I will tell you clearly over 50% of them now university graduates. So then people then we don't pull them, and I would encourage them for make sure say then go back into university or then go back to the workplace.
When they take them people they also go to the center, what are some of the things they provide to them in terms of rebuild them back so that when they come to society, then will be the right people where they're supposed to be.
Now a multi-pronged approach. It's the whole this thing will get like manual. We'll get how they handle it. One, will they make sure they can get any ailments, any sickness, then sores, then whatever, we treat them. Where you don't treat them, they don't stable. Now they send them to the rehab sector, the rehab people, then they will then get psychosocial support, then get mental health nurses. So it's a holistic approach that they make sure they take through the whole process of counseling, talking to them. I mean, not to one-off thing. Drug fights, even America, they don't depend on for so many years. So if somebody don't go through that process, I agree with what some people that they say. If you don't, the person don't go through that process, you not engage them. Tendency for say relapse go there. So it's a holistic approach, and that approach this task force they use.
We'll continue for stay with me inside the program. Brigadier General Professor Fodisa, Coordinator, National Task Force on Drug and Substance Abuse. Well, we get the Task Force Enforcement Wing. We na the national, we na the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and we get the Executive Director now the studio. We na Andrew Jaya Kai. Andrew, we don't get from Professor Fodisa on waiting then to do from the young wing from the center. We get the enforcement wing. Lately, we don't see the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and partner them. Don't they burn some drug them? We say we can catch them drugs, sir.
Thank you for that question. You know, now they talk just now to Professor Sarr. So question they come about government, what in government they do and this and that. Somebody asked a question just now about the border. Now, since February to date, we don't do 4 different drug destruction there. Now Toku, now Hastings. Most of the one like they talk just now about container. Wataki, the management, they don't tighten the belt. Like one of the destruction we will do, now a container where they seize now Wataki. Inside that container, there you get marshmallow, you get formalin, you get KUSH, you get leaf stem, you get other substances there. That container, they Usai Komona Holland, and the people who will be involved. All them drugs then the other one who began at airport at one point was about 175 cartons of tramadol. Now we all know say tramadol legal only if it is prescribed. But when you begin see tramadol dosage of 225 milligrams, then you know say not for really medicinal purpose, but for them man they get high. All the one they do, we don't catch them, we destroy them. The last, just what I talk this, then this year also, we catch large amount of KUSH and other instruments the way they use. The person where they now in custody right now with we. In just begin this drug trade. What in the interview, I tell you saying I may in begin. Then also based on the information who they get get connection with people in Holland. Now from Holland, they send the business money. It begin this business. Then, based on the interview, now when the airport don't tight, Wataki don't tight, now they go now, they corner there. Like this one, get supply from Guinea. So, because of the National Task Force, and because of the robust action the world don't take, world don't say really, if we get for done this thing, go after the supplier them, cut the supply chain, disrupt the activities them, and we don't see that they make huge yield and dividend. So that kind of person they, with all the wherewithal we get for begin that trade, before it begin self, we don't arrest them with everything we count. The scale will take in hand. He said now last week Friday this scale come on Holland enter this country. By Saturday, we will arrest her with all things.
What in the security sector and the law enforcement department of the National Task Force they do for tap the supply chain, and you make mention of the effort of Wataki. You trust the process now, Wataki, for tap the coming in of drugs then at the country?
Absolutely.
But this Wataki recently, or this BNT, the allegation of drugs and within arrest when a tramadol them disappear.
As I say, absolutely I trust what everybody they do, what everybody they bring on board for fight drugs in this country. Now a multi-sectorial approach. Now Wataki, most of the drugs they would not destroy in the last couple of times they would not burn drugs. Now Wataki they hold them. And when they hold drugs now Wataki, the approach don't change. Because now you get ONS DD, immigration DD, you get what they call CCAP, where we comprise of different law enforcement agencies, the police, the army, ONS, TOKU, even immigration, NDLA, everybody did it. So whenever now they make an arrest, the first thing what they do now, as they make the arrest, all the agents they come on board for secure the arrest where they make.
Una get free hand for fed substance abuse in the country?
Absolutely.
Now, let we look at the issues them where you make mention of where una they burn some drugs them, chemicals them. We said them chemical yeah, can make them way through, as you say, the what are keep proactive in terms of for tap the drugs and for coming.
You said or answer your own question. By Wataki being proactive. Would they able to catch them because Wataki is proactive?
So the chemicals the one they arrest now, people and the one they burn. We say una can catch them.
Now they tell you so through the ports, through the borders, but you cannot catch them if you are not proactive. You cannot catch them if you know they do your work.
So they assure people of Sierra Leone, viewers and listeners of Radio Democracy, say the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, as the law enforcement wing of the National Task Force on Drug and Substance Abuse, they on top of situation and they work with partners them for tap drug for come in country.
Absolutely. That again, I mean, I use that word because what you do, you see the drug trade now a fluid trade. Take for example, America as its world superpower. The Drug Enforcement Agency of America. You know how much their budget? Their budget is over $160 billion per year. These are the world superpower. But as I talk right now, methamphetamine and other things they can ravage America also. Because now people the one way involved in drug trade, they are smart, they are wealthy, they get the money, they get the wherewithal. But we not know for sleep now on our wing. Now make we as a small nation, we not get what they want they didn't get. But through president in wisdom and determination of this government, we must make sure say KUSH go down at this country. Because for me, always when I think about it, it's not just about say they fed drugs, you get forget purpose. What's in our purpose? Now for secure the young one in this country. President in 5-pillar agenda there. Feed salon. Who that get for feed salon? Now the youths them. But if we allow them all drug, they ravage them, they destroy them, then where do we go as a nation? So now make you always say, as we fight them, we dey fight them back with mercy and compassion. Get compassion for the one way they take them. Not just say because not to you picking, you no go care.
Asks about if you trust the process so far now the Wataki. Now we come to the Salon Police. You trust the way how the Salon Police don't they go about in the fight against KUSH?
Yes, when and trust is it can be objective but subjective in this case.
Fight against KUSH.
The police there now, what you don't do now, we all don't come together. Like head of the enforcement pillar, what they say comprise both the army, both police, ONS, and the other security agencies. Now we form the enforcement pillar. And we they coordinate all over this country right now. No sign of now in this country where they go, where the local unit commander of the police not involved.
But the instances don't they also people they allege say whenever the police they go out or make an arrest of people where they sell KUSH or engage into KUSH business, once they give them money, they left them.
Me not aware of that right now on the operation what they do. I cannot deny what others have said or if allegation like that they did. but as head of the law enforcement pillar, that no dey happen right now.
And we mentioned earlier, ask you, what's in your view about the rehabilitation center, which Professor Forisa mentioned as part of the mandate for Get Them across the country?
Just like I was saying before, the rehabilitation center is very good, a nice for lady. Because of first, you don't forget say we don't forget put them, we don't forget talk to them. Where you because you don't for know why make this take and wait to make it take and wait till they do, wait till learn, wait till na skill. Because if you don't go put somebody in a rehabilitation center, let me say 6-8 months, it don't come on, it come back. You don't know side they go, you don't know what they go do. As long as he come back, he not get nothing for do. Maybe it go be 1, 2, 3 days, he go back now they get to. Because you not get side we engage. Because as for we Voice of the Street organization, waiting now we on plan, we want come up with let me say project we for show you talent. You know, because all brothers and sisters there, them we get to them we do first before they can take this drug here. So we they come up with this program, we not show you talent. We if you not carpenter, we can go na carpenter shop. You make bench, you make table, whatever, we video you. If you not driver, we give you motorcar, you did the video you. From then now we look for take, we show the big one and tell them say, okay, well now this they happen, now this they go. So they will brothers they are back, we go locate them back now these places they what they tell you. We go buy the tools them. We put on the if now weekly basis we can check on them weekly. Why is their young parents back get for involved we not then left for can sign for them, you know. But to be honest, if you don't go put somebody in a rehabilitation center, it not get nothing for do. It go back who say come other way to go, it was 10 times more than I.
So what's in the ideal for run rehabilitation center?
First of all, one, you forget the grace of God. Two, you forget patience. Because one thing about drug, you know, go talk to somebody this moment or today, you think say they change back today now. And say you can just can't talk to somebody. The next 1-2 minutes you turn back, you see I dip and do back what you go talk to them. So you look for meet them back and talk to them. You look for make waiting at the advantages and disadvantages. You look for tell and say this way you take and this they up. You look for be yell. But if you begin bend now make so you know they understand. Then you look for encourage them. Because the encouragement will not give them and make this thing go beyond so. You know, because one thing about salon, the biggest problem in salon I tell you today, na love we will not get. Not a government issue now this country, na the love we will not get. The way salon now they get love to save everything they change now day. Other my young picking, take us to young picking. The reason why they say come funny the jump fire is just because of if we not get you the mama, we'll get you the picking. You know, then this could share so to be honest, if we allow a date say this year to next year 2025, you know for come out. You know, because like every blessed day then they couch new KUSH, they process new KUSH. Can you imagine this KUSH get past 3 phone names? They go say then get Jagaban, then get Mile, then get this, then get that. Then this thing are chemical. These are chemicals. Because you wouldn't say the type of formalin, diamond bone, Q-Tex remover with the one with the acetone, then they call this marshmallow leaf. They mix all together. What if you say they happen? Some of their lab there, so many people who don't die inside lab there for test this KUSH here so. Because when you don't create this KUSH here, you know for give somebody we go fill out for you to say this is fine or you're not fine. As soon as the one who they test them for you don't say fine, you just they take them, you send them out there and
away from the rehabilitation center, we deal with other two issues, the supply chain and the local manufacturing of the country. What do you think say the state need for do for tap the importation of KUSH or the chemicals them into the country and the way people they make them?
First of all, let me say the one that we did at the border and the airports, we at the security. Now then first for be righteous. You know, no matter what, waiting somebody give you or not give you, put salon first. Then two, then dealers they are so we deploy there. Because if we don't catch arrest 1-2 dealers, they go court, you hear them say, hey, they don't give one dealer 15-20 years. The one who they be in, it is afraid. Then also the community will look for come up, every community will come up with set a body, wait for day for purposely for drug in the community. As soon as we see you, we know say you sell drugs now. We duty follow only okay go police. Or if the Sierra police or the National Drug Agency, it will create a number. We go tell we say now this is an emergency number. We will not go call. We go can go now the support because then again, some of them dealer there way people in the show out. Some of the people who will go meet text saying that this and the dealers, and some of them back they go sell you back saying that they might point you. As soon as you do that, waiting up, we don't put your life at risk.
On drug and substance abuse. We don't talk plenty and don't talk about effort them una don't they do for COP. What thing you go left with listeners and viewers of Radio Democracy in terms of the fight against KUSH and other substance abuse in the country?
Thank you very much. I just want to tell Fambulen say this fete na all man fete. We know we talk say this na government business because I see a colleague here where a common central they emphasize the community engagement. So everybody for join hand on this fete. More especially when they can popularize this app was a reporting app. So anytime we see activity they happen outside drug and substance, then they sell illegal substance or it's outside they smoke, you go report and we go send that message there to the appropriate body. We'll get a 24/7 situation room and he asked for a dedicated line. Indeed, a line that is 117 line now they still use.
People for trust government in the fight against KUSH and substance abuse?
Definitely, yes. Government very committed. If the government not been committed enough to establish a task force.
Enimna Brigadier General Professor Fodisa, plenty thank you for we joining Saturday edition of the program Good Morning Saloon. In the coordinator, National Task Force on Drug and Substance Abuse in the country. We come to Andrew Jaya Kaikai, in the Executive Director, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and then the law enforcement pillar of the National Task Force. Andrew Jaya Kaikai on enforcement. What thing people will expect from the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency going forward?
Everybody need to understand and believe that the president serious and the government serious about this fight, hence the establishment of the National Task Force. And since the establishment of the National Task Force, the coordinator for the task force, Brigadier General Fodisa, has done a tremendous job. And they do a very good job in terms of coordinating everybody. We all don't come together under one umbrella and we move. Then also to my brother Arnold, where they on the street. Now they like me passion day. Arnold will go engage you, will go invite you like you can at the task force. You go meet with Professor Sarr and the leadership of the task force because we need committed young people like you. We're going to bring in into the communities them. But again, this fete now all my own fete. Let them just know say, maybe don't declare a long time ago. The office of me hold, at this point, me, I'm not afraid nobody. No sacred cow, no day. Like what president say, and what Professor Fodisa say, just no. As long as we get information, say you dip at that drug business, I don't care whose level of strata of society they will they come after you.
When I get the resources, manpower, as the law enforcement pillar of the National Task Force.
Everything now they under the leadership of Professor Fodisa. Now the task force, now all the resources they come under, and now from there they fight.
The last time we get you now, you been raised concern, and when we check the last time, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency not been gets the own standing mutka for even movements. How the issues then don't solve now with this task force and the couple with government don't commit to the fight?
Government they work on all the issues that they are how they talk.
Una don't get anything then now una still have it.
It in process.
Okay, Andrew Jaya Kaikai, in the Executive Director for National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, account to Arnold Sanya, CEO and co-founder, Voice of the Street Organization. And you don't get from the authorities them willing for work with you, how you the work with the company them for ensure say we intensify community engagement in the fight against KUSH and substance abuse in the country.
Okay, so thank you very much, sir, for making and give me this opportunity for being part of the task force. I really appreciate. Then I go tell una say I go work with una. Them together we all go fight and win this fight by God's grace.
Thank you very much for joining me in the edition of the program. Good morning, Salona. They hear me?